Well, good day, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, and to your family, to all those out there. It is another Christmas, another holiday spending together in this year of 2020. Again, Merry Christmas, everyone. Come on in. I know that you may be at your dinner table, you may be around the fireplace. If you got a fireplace, most folks don't even have fireplaces anymore. Uh, you might be in the family room. You might be, I don't know where you might be at, but come on in the room. Join me today. We're going to do a little dish of home for the holidays. There was a saying over the last couple of years through ABC News about home for the holidays. Well, this year we really don't have too much of a choice because of the pandemic. But wanted to, again, wish everyone a wonderful Christmas. It is so good to see you all out there. Come on and comment. Thank you, Marilyn Hinton Brown, for commenting. And I'm sure we're going to have other people join us. We got a little bit of a surprise for you today. This is Ask the Doctors edition, sponsored by Hope Health Systems. I am Jonathan Shepard, Chief Medical Officer over at Hope Health Systems, coming to you on a Christmas evening here. I know throughout the country it still may be daylight, but hopefully you've had a wonderful day with your family. Hopefully you had some time with your family, getting a chance to open up gifts and uh, talk. And I know people who've done Zoom parties throughout. Our guests today, and we're not a guest. I know that they've been with their families today, and I'm going to bring on Dr. Erica Draza very, very soon here. And Dr. Marilyn Griffin wants to say hello. She's not going to join us today. She's not feeling the best, but she definitely wanted me to say hello to everyone. She doesn't have COVID-19. All right, just want to make sure people know that. She's not COVID positive, and nothing wrong with being COVID positive. Just want to make sure that you know that she's not ill due to the coronavirus, but she just has head cold. She actually got the COVID-19 vaccine this week. Yeah, she got the vaccine this week. And so I really wanted her to talk a little bit about that. She got it Tuesday. But anyway, she will join us for the next episode. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you, Johnny Jenkins, for watching, and appreciate all that are on here right now. I'm going to bring on Dr. Draza, as I know she was eating her holiday dinner. So come on in, my friend.
Hey.
Hey, Lord. She is ready for Christmas.
I'm ready for Christmas. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Shepard.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My birthday was last Friday. At this time, we were celebrating. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being a part.
And it was such a beautiful celebration. It really was. It was awesome to see. So he had a big Zoom party for his it's out there. It's his 44th birthday. Um, and it was so cool because he had people from every walk of life, really. And I learned a lot about Dr. Shepard. I learned a lot.
All right, all right. We're not having live about that
Oh,
now.
we're not talking about all the things I
Oh,
learned. 'Cause that could be a whole session today. All the things I learned about Dr. Shepard last week. But no, it really was a great way to celebrate you, and clearly you've had an impact on so many lives, and it was just an honor to be there to celebrate and to witness that. So thanks for inviting me, and yeah, I learned a few little somethings, but we'll keep that maybe for the end.
all right.
But y'all, there was a Jeopardy game. There was a Jeopardy game about all of his favorite things. I was like, it was just amazing. It was amazing.
I love playing games. The last one, last birthday party I was able to put together, I did Family Feud. Yeah.
That's my mom's favorite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I love that.
that's a
So
good one. That's a
yeah,
good
so
one.
I was looking for ways to engage people. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
just it was a good day, and so thank you. I appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And, and that's what we want to do today. We're going to keep the show light as much as possible. We are going to deal with some serious topics, as we do each at the end of each month. But we know that with today, so much has happened even today. Think about it. The people in Nashville,
Oh my
the
God.
explosion that happened.
So
Um,
scary.
yeah, you just don't know what's going to happen on any given day. Why would
Right.
somebody plan a explosion on Christmas
On
Day?
Christmas morning.
Christmas
Yeah.
Eve, right? You know, just, yeah, just so it's just the type of world that we live in, and this year 2020 has just been such a topsy turvy year for us, and
Yeah.
it just really speaks to all that has occurred this year. So again, we send our hearts, our sentiments go out to
Absolutely.
prayers to all those who may have been affected by the explosion in Nashville. And they're continuing to, investigate. I got good friends down there in Nashville.
Mm.
One of our
Wow.
last guests, who was just on the show 3 weeks ago, she was from Nashville.
Oh,
Uh,
wow. Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Misha Maynard. When we talked about forgiveness and how to be able to let go and forgive.
Oh, yeah. That's a great topic.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. And
yeah.
right in time before the holidays when everybody's going to be getting together with their families.
Absolutely. Before the
Yeah.
new year,
For the new
learning
year.
how,
That's right. Starting fresh. Yep.
yeah, absolutely. Forgiving. So
Hey.
yeah, you want to say hello to a few people out there?
I see some folks. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, family. I see my BFF from high school. Okay, we go back to 1993. Okay, when I was 13 years old. Miss Shalita Taylor is in the house. So hey.
Wow, wow, wow. All
Merry
right, look,
Christmas,
she's here telling
everyone.
her age. Look.
But it's not quite where you are, Dr. Shepherd. So be
Oh,
careful. Be careful. Be careful.
oh,
Mhm. You
all
may have
right.
that Santa hat on right now, but
What did I say about this? What did I say about this Santa hat?
I love it. I love the Santa hat. I love
Okay.
it.
All right. All right. All right. Oh, well, that's nice that you have friends that go back that far. Um,
Yes,
that's
yes.
good. That's good that you can always have people who.
Oh my gosh, and another friend wait a minute. This friend goes back to like, whoo, 6th grade. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. Anyways,
Who,
okay. Keep it going. Keep it
who is
going. Keep it
that?
going, Dr. Shepherd. Keep it going, Dr. Shepherd.
Who is this? Who is this? Wait a
No,
minute.
no, we're
Wow.
gonna. Yeah, no, this is great. It's awesome, Christmas time, and it's just a different Christmas, right? Because we're all doing it virtually. And
Right.
I know you're in Maryland, your family's in Chicago. My mom relocated down here, but my dad and my sister and my aunt and uncle, I have family in New Jersey and also in Jacksonville. And some of those folks I haven't seen in a year. Fortunately, my dad surprised me on my birthday in February and
Oh, she froze. That's all that internet capacity. Yeah, Dr. Draza froze. I may have to take her out for just a minute here. That's what happens when everybody gets on at the same time. So I'll wait till she gets back on. I'm sure she'll be back with us. So I was just putting in the chat. Thank you for joining us. Marlon is joining us. Bella, Angel, so many different people are joining us. So I just put in the chat to tell us about your Christmas Day experience. We want to hear about what you've done today. Dr. Draza was just mentioning that My family, immediate family, is throughout the country, and this has now been 2 years in a row where my immediate family has not been able to get together. Typically, how we would do, we would get together in one of the three cities where we are located in, Baltimore, where I'm at, or Chicago, where my parents at, or in LA. And I am pleased that my brother will be joining us at some point during this broadcast. But because last year my grandmother died the week before Christmas, and we had her funeral 2 days after Christmas, so we were unable to do that. And then this year, because of the pandemic, we were unable to get together. So it's been 2 Christmases in a row. And I can only imagine how it's been difficult for you out there not to be able to fellowship, not to be able to hang out. Now, I say that, but let me tell you, TSA, who does the screening at the airports, are telling me something different. They're telling me, Dr. Shepard, the folks are going home. Dr. Draza is back. So we're going to deal with this just a little bit. There we go, Dr. Draza. I wanted to let you
You
get
know
back on
what?
here.
You
I saw
gotta
the blog.
love, you gotta love. I was talking about Zoom and family and how it's all different. And then my internet just was like, girl, bye. I don't know what happened. Can you hear me okay? I'm on my cell phone internet, actually. I'm on my cell phone because
Okay, yeah,
the internet is just, it went out. It's
gotcha,
gone.
gotcha. Oh wow. I told you, yeah, the
Yeah,
internet. You're right. It will wait until we go to the show to happen. But yeah,
right.
just I was just mentioning how this year, yeah, it is a little bit different. My family's out in Chicago, LA. I was just mentioning,
Yeah,
and I was mentioning how TSA is now telling us that people have traveled 1 million people per day over the last week. 1
yeah,
million people per day have been screened, which means that they're traveling, which means that they're going to different destinations, which means now
right.
the virus is spreading, which means now that the 1 million persons have traveled, we could expect a surge
We're gonna
of,
expect a surge. Yeah.
yeah,
Just like right after Thanksgiving, right? It happened, I would say our highest numbers spiked about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks after Thanksgiving. So I think we're going to see that again in a few weeks after folks
yeah,
return home. Hmm.
yeah, which could mean the end of January,
Right.
and that is around the time that we're looking for our new president to be inaugurated, and
Yes.
so he's going to have quite a challenge on his hands,
Hmm.
absolutely, and so I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. I'm not looking forward to January. I'll be honest with you. I'm not as in relation
Yeah.
to in relation to coronavirus. I'm not.
Oh, no. I think it's going to exponentially increase. I know here in North Carolina, for instance, we've seen crazy numbers and we have been pretty steady for quite a few months. But once that spike hit in November, early December, I think it's just going to continue to rise. And, you know, fortunately, we have the vaccine, a couple of different vaccines, right? But not everyone has access
Right.
to the vaccines yet. So it's going to take time for everyone to be able to get the vaccine. That is, if they get it, right? Because we know there are a lot of people who have doubts about receiving the coronavirus vaccine, but it's going to take a while to get this under control.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think January is probably going to be a really, really rough time. But the one thing I'm grateful for is that with this new administration is that at least we have a plan. We have a team, who's already convened and they're already meeting and reviewing the data and the science. And my hope is that we'll be able to have some direction. I think right now it really is kind of every man and every woman for themselves. We're not
Yeah.
really receiving much direction in terms of leadership and guidance. So
Yeah.
that's the one thing I'm hopeful for in 2021.
Yeah. Leadership is definitely needed. It does puzzle me that we have leadership that spends more time trying to uproot the results of an election that
Right.
already confirmed, and yet we're still
Hmm.
trying to change these results. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's very interesting how in a time like this where you have hundreds of thousands of people who are dying and people dying of coronavirus every 10 minutes,
Mm,
that we just have someone in leadership who's only thinking of themselves. This is a hard time for our country. When I think about 9/11, right, and just how the whole world stopped, our country stopped, and we paused, right, because there were so many people, what, 3,000 or so lives
yeah,
lost
mhm,
from 9/11, and then we think about how many people have been impacted from coronavirus, and it's just like we're just keeping it moving and not even acknowledging it. And I think for me, it's hard to understand the lack of empathy for families who are suffering right now, especially during a holiday season. I could tell there's so many people I know of who have family members who are hospitalized right now, people who have recently passed away from COVID-19. These are difficult times, and yet we're wanting to just be really selfish and make this time all about ourselves, and accusing other folks of stealing an election. It's like, okay, I think if we would have done that the last election if we were capable of doing that. But it's mind boggling, right? I
look at
mean,
you.
he's the main
Right.
one calling Hillary crooked, Hillary, but that's a whole nother conversation. It's like if any election, right? But
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But it saddens me, it really does, because there's just a complete lack of empathy. It's just lost. And yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I cannot emphasize that enough. I'm just going to talk about one more topic before we bring in our other guests today.
Got another guest.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. My
I have a guest.
brother.
I have a mini guest.
You have a what that the dog?
I got myself a Christmas gift. Come here,
What is?
buddy.
Oh wow.
And he's styling. His name is
Yeah.
Theodore. His name is
Okay.
Theodore, which actually means God's gift.
Hmm.
So he's a little
Okay.
excited right now, but say hey as he
Now,
bites my hand in my hair. All right, sit down.
now what now what type of dog is that?
He's a Cavapoo.
Okay. And when did you get
Yeah,
him?
I got him 2 weeks ago.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
So many
yeah,
people are getting dogs and other pets during the pandemic. Uh,
right.
it is amazing. People cannot buy pets right now because because there is a market for pets.
That's right. Yep,
You know,
yep.
I
I've
know.
been looking for months actually, and
Wow.
every time I would look, I would stall and say, "Okay, do I really want to do this? Do I want a dog?" And then the next day, they're like, "Sorry, that dog is gone." So when I
Wow.
saw him, I hopped on it. But you're
Wow.
right. So many people are buying pets,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I couldn't even get him a vet. The vet said, "Sorry, we're on a wait list." I was like,
Yeah.
"Wow."
Yeah. Yeah. No, I
But it
know. I
makes
know
sense
people.
because people are working from home, and I know I'm working
Right.
from home, doing telemedicine. So it makes sense if you bring in, a little furry friend into the family to do it sooner than later.
I
So,
know. I know people borrowing dogs. That-
I wish I had done
that
that before. I mean, I love them to death, but it's a lot of work.
Yeah, I know some folks borrow. You know, I was like, wait a minute, you gonna rent the dog, take it for
I
somebody
actually think
else.
that's a great idea. I think it's a great idea.
That's something. But
Get your
I'm
feet
gonna,
wet first.
right, right, right. But I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna mention Merry Christmas to Wumi who's out there, part of Hope Health Systems. Letitia who's out there. Yeah. So thank you all for joining us. I'm gonna go back to something that you said before bringing in our guests. We were talking about lack of empathy and just about some of the things that have occurred with this year, actually within the last month. And
Mhm.
we talked a little bit about this earlier, Dr. Susan Moore, and just wanted to just
Oh my
highlight
God.
her because of the atrocity that happened to this Black female physician. And for anyone who knows me, over the last few months, I've been really highlighting Black women and the need to celebrate them. And so I want to just bring just a little bit of attention to Dr. Susan Moore, who is a
Yeah.
Black physician who, over the last month, contracted the coronavirus. She was over in Indiana and Indiana University Hospital, and she was not receiving the proper treatment because of her skin color. What I want to let people know, I don't care how many degrees you get, I don't care the name that you have or the title you have before your name or even after your name. Skin color in this country is still a determining factor when it comes to care in a lot of arenas, not just in the area of medicine, the financial arena, the healthcare arena, as we just mentioning, the housing arena. Yes, so all of that,
Education, all of it.
education. Yes, yes. You know, the thing with, well, she's not a Black woman, but she's a woman, Dr. Jill Biden. The whole thing about her not being able to call herself a doctor. And so, yeah, you know, Dr. Linnell Perry is here. Happy belated birthday, Dr. Perry. We just want to celebrate you. But yeah, you know,
Happy
so
birthday.
I tell you that Dr. Susan Moore, she was a physician. I had to say was, she just died on Sunday, the
Yeah.
20th. And I don't know if you want to take us a little bit further into it, Erica, but it's just
Oh
ridiculous.
God.
You
You
know,
know, I have watched her video. So just a little background. First of all, rest in peace to Dr. Susan Moore and to her family. We just send our condolences. She is a part of a Facebook group I'm in that has about over 3,000 Black female physicians in this group. And she started posting pretty shortly after she was hospitalized because
mm,
she documented her journey through her hospitalization day by day, sharing the flat out disrespect, the challenges that she faced when asking for pain, asking for pain control, feeling as though she was a drug seeking patient when she was in a lot of pain, to being discharged prematurely, even though she told them that she was not better. And it was just very, I can't even describe the feeling, honestly. I'm going to try not to cry as I think about it, but to hear her tell her story, and you can watch her video. There's actually a
mm,
video of her on YouTube. Dr. Susan Moore in the New York Times actually featured her as well, her story. Um, it brought me to tears. It brought me to tears because they treated her in such an inhumane way.
mm,
And I think we all understand that there are disparities when it comes to Blacks um, receiving quality health care. We tend to have the worst outcomes than any other group in the United States. And I think this video highlighted why all of her concerns were dismissed. And I
mm,
think it's hard because, she's a physician. And not to say that physicians should be treated any differently, they shouldn't. It doesn't matter if she were a physician or if she, I don't know, were a nurse or a teacher or, her profession really doesn't matter. No one should be treated in such an inhumane way. But I think what was shocking to me about the fact that she was a physician is that she was telling them the things that she needed, and giving them the proper medical lingo, if you will,
right.
that would help them to make their decisions, better decisions in terms of doing a workup. If you're telling someone that you're having certain kinds of symptoms and you're describing that in medical jargon, that usually gives the doctor, okay, hey, maybe I need to be ordering this test or doing such and such, and she's giving them direction and leading them. And they were just completely dismissive of her. And I think that was what was so bothersome. And then to hear her say that she just wanted to be transferred to another hospital because she didn't trust her team. She didn't trust the doctors. She didn't trust the nurses. And to hear, her nurse say things like, well, I know you've been in pain for the last 3 hours, but I have a lot of other patients that I'm serving. So I got here when I could. I mean, how would you feel if it were your mother? How would you feel if it were your aunt in a hospital bed suffering from pain, and then to accuse her of seeking um, opiates when she'd never taken any before? She said, I don't know what to tell you, but I could tell you that my pain is not under control right now. And it wasn't until they did an emergency CT scan where they actually found lymphadenopathy, which is swollen lymph nodes that were really painful for her and lots of infiltrates in her lungs, that they said, okay, we'll give you something, but we're not going to give you IV. We'll give you this medicine by mouth. It's very just dismissive, and it was painful. It was just painful to watch. And every time I've watched that video, probably like 5 times now, and I cry every single time. And it's just a reminder that it doesn't matter who you are. If you are a Black person in America, you are likely to experience some differences when it comes to medical treatment, and it's just not right. It's just not right. So yeah, it's heartbreaking. Thank you. Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That's a little bit about it. Yep, I agree. So folks are like, yep, her family should seek legal assistance. I agree with that, but she's gone. I mean, I want them to get whatever they can, but it's, I just think what could have happened had they listened, because she died about 2 weeks. She was discharged prematurely. And I think within 12 hours of being discharged, spiked a fever, had to be, readmitted to a new hospital that time. But you just wonder if she were treated properly during that first hospitalization, she probably would still be here to tell her story. It's just so unfortunate. So
Yeah.
but that's essentially what happened. And I think it's, it just highlights that doesn't matter who you are. And hopefully, because it's being featured in a lot of social media outlets and people are so outraged, we can have more conversations about the maltreatment of people of color, Black and Indigenous people of color in the medical system.
Absolutely. So, just wanted to bring some light to that situation, because we want to make sure that we are taking care of our own. While we're home for the holidays, make sure that you're loving on the people. I've seen so many people talk about how this particular year, not giving a lot of presents, but just making sure that we let people know how we care about them, that we're concerned about them. The thing about Dr. Moore, she had a 19-year-old son that she was responsible for, and she had two parents who are demented. So she was a sole provider for two elderly parents who were demented and a 19-year-old son. So now they don't have that person anymore. So yeah, it is tragic. It is sad. And so we don't want to stay in this particular atmosphere today. I mean, today is a day of it's supposed to be a day of joy. But we do know that for many people, it is a day of reflection, a day of even a little bit of sadness because you reflect on things. But we want to keep it just, like I said earlier, a little bit of lightheartedness. And so we just want to take some time to really just enjoy being at home, literally home for the holiday. So if you haven't picked up that phone yet, if you haven't done that Zoom call just yet, please do so. I guarantee you it'll do you some good. There are a couple people. My brother will be joining us. I want at least one member of my family to be with me today on the show. So he's going to join us. He just texted me, told me he's at home cooking. So my brother does cook. And can cook.
Wait, right. So what? So he cooks. What happened, Dr. Shepherd? Like, I've never heard you talk about cooking. Now, what's the difference here?
All right. Don't be giving our next guest any type of fuel now, because you already started, Erica.
I was just saying, you talking about your brother being a lovely cook. I've never heard you talk about cooking. So I'm just wondering, like.
Erica, we need to go put you back on this Dr. Susan Moore. You're also in the middle right there. Now you want to come for me. So
I'm not coming for you. I was just curious. I'm curious. Like, so do you cook? You just talk about it, or you just leave that to him? Okay.
I have another brother who is here who's going to add to this. Jeremiah Frazier, who is in his own right a comedian and in the entertainment business. And so I want him to come on the show just to provide just a little bit of laughter for home for the holidays edition. And so, yeah. So you'll get a chance to meet him. I think you might have dropped off of the call a little bit earlier, Erica. So he was with me last week for the virtual birthday party. So Jeremiah Frazier,
can you hear me?
Inviting you on in.
All right. Can you all hear me?
We can hear you, sir.
Yes,
all right.
We can.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yes, Merry Christmas, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well. Merry Christmas to you, Dr. Shepard.
Yes,
Doctor, how do you say your last name? I don't want to mess this up. This is a spelling I'm not used to. Okay. I worked at the public school. We didn't have names like that. It's like William, Johnson, Smith. We're gonna call you Dr. E. Let me just call you Dr. E. That's all right. Merry Christmas to you all.
That's cool too. That works.
Yeah. And my brother is here. He just joined us. Perfect timing.
Put that food on simmer. Put that oven on simmer.
Yes. Oh.
He's on mute right now.
I'm curious what was on the menu. Oh yeah, you're on mute.
Unmute Dr. Shepard.
So what was for dinner?
I don't know. Wait a minute. His something going on with his
internet.
He
looks frozen.
Yeah.
He looks frozen. Internet is on a struggle bus tonight. What's going on with our internet?
I don't know. I have to remove him.
There it is. He unmuted.
Okay.
Oh, he just had unmuted. Okay, never mind. You like God on here. You didn't mute it. He got control when he can hear and see us. I brought you in this Zoom and I'll take you out.
Oh Lord, no. Don't give Dr. Shepard that kind of power now.
He's got all power.
No, I see. I didn't want to bring you in when she's talking about me not cooking.
Oh, I heard that part.
Yeah.
I was just curious. I was like, brother can cook. Like I never heard Jonathan talking about cooking before. But
we ain't seen no results. There's no evidence.
No
evidence. That's right.
I don't do that whole cooking thing. I mean, if I need to, but my grandmother.
Okay, so in other words, it's not your ministry.
Well, ministry, yeah, I guess if you want to use that term.
It's not your ministry.
I just did learn. Now, Jeremiah met my grandmother.
Yeah. I've had your grandmother's cooking several times.
Yeah. Now she was the cook.
Grandmother and mother.
Yeah, now I don't know what happened to my mother. My mother's kind of got this burst of inspiration.
Facebook will mess you up. All these new recipes. Your mom is old school, so when they cook, they actually prep food for days and marinated things, and this new Facebook cookbook they have, man, where you can click on something and they show you how to make it in like 8 minutes. It's everybody's cooking has fallen off.
Right.
Oh, way off.
But listen, my mother has actually picked up more cooking. Lord, I hope she's not on here.
Come on in, Dr. Shepard.
Oh Lord, I'm checking down to make sure she's not on here.
You can't edit this. You can't take that back.
Nah, I'm telling you though, man. She would cook more now than when me and my brother lived in the house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, Erica. Yeah,
okay.
she would. I mean, she's, oh Lord, Dr. Perry. Somebody was talking about.
Oh.
I want to
I'm gonna tell on you.
all right, Dr. Perry. Look, we got to block you now. You can't be telling everything. But seriously, she used to cook more so. I mean, she cooks now more. You know, you go on Facebook, you see her making these cakes and these pies and all this other stuff. Yeah, I just like, Mom, where was all this back when we were little?
We go to church too much. So church every day of the week. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We used to do quite a bit of that. So Jeremiah, tell us how you've been spending your day.
Oh my God! First of all, Merry Christmas to all of you. You know what? Today has just been a little unusual for me. This is like the one time you question being an adult. Christmas Day. For those who don't know, I have small children, so I've had 2 boys this year, January and December. So I just had a baby, my last baby boy, 4 days ago. So he's 4 years old. Yeah.
Oh.
And the amount of gifts the 4-day-old baby has is ridiculous. It's like, why does he have all these gifts and he ain't even been here a week? Like, Christmas is the one day you question adulting. Like, I know they say it's better to give than to receive, but it seems like the receivers are much more happier this year. Like, what is going on? And so I've been prepping all day for the Zoom. It's ridiculous. Like, I've done all the necessary, unnecessary requirements for Zoom. Like, I'm like, why am I putting on cologne? Like, what am I doing? Like, this whole reshifted of virtual parties has just gone out of control. I have to stop myself from like leaving the house too early. It's like, where am I going?
Right. Well, first of all, congratulations to you.
Thank you. My kids, man, I have a 5-year-old and a bonus daughter, 8-year-old, with my wife, and it's so funny, man, how kids will humble you in a situation. Like, I got all this high quality equipment, man, set up, all these nice things, and I'm telling them like, hey, I'm at work. Don't come down here. I'm at work for the next hour. They like, work? This is the basement. It's like, hey.
Right.
They'll humble you so fast, man. They will. So all day it's just been me watching them unwrap gift after gift and waiting on mine. And I'm still waiting, by the way.
You're still waiting?
I'm like, I said, okay, we're gonna have a nice lecture tonight because we obviously don't understand the gift of giving at 4 and 8 years old.
Really?
Yeah, really.
4 and 8 years old. Get up out of here.
I'm gonna be a Grinch tonight. Like, y'all don't even deserve this. Y'all ain't left the house all year. What y'all been doing? Y'all don't deserve this. And so, man, kids will humble you. I'm so glad today my phone hasn't rang for a car warranty. Like, I don't understand where these calls come from. Have y'all not been getting these calls all year?
Yeah.
It's like, first of all, car warranty. I had the same car for 12 years. Why are you calling me this year? Like, where have you been? They call my brother, which is so funny, and he don't even drive. I'm like, he don't even own a car. Why he getting a car warranty call? This is too much.
Oh, that's hilarious. My brother's here.
What's up, y'all?
Here.
Merry Christmas to everybody.
Merry Christmas to you. Yes, sir.
Jason, what are you cooking, man? We got to ask you.
So I just put some short ribs in the oven.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Wait, are you slow cooking them? So they're gonna take like 3 hours, 4 hours, or you?
No, I'm not.
Are y'all ready to eat?
Yeah, they in the Dutch oven, so it's gonna take about the hour and some change.
Okay.
So I got that in there and some. So we about to do some damage.
Okay.
My country stream beans with some turnip bottoms and rutabagas.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna do some damage, right?
Somebody's been in the cookbook. Turnip bottoms and rutabaga.
Now see, you missed it earlier, Jason. So Erica came a little bit for me. So I was telling her that you were, that you were cooking, and she gonna talk about, well, I ain't ever heard you say you gonna cook.
No, you never will. You never will.
And I never will. Okay,
You
got
never
you.
will.
Got
If Jonathan says he cooking
you.
something,
Okay. Did your mom teach you how to cook, Jason?
so yes and no. Like the first few things my mom taught me, like eggs, basics, how to cook, the basics. But like cooking meals, I just started doing on my own, like learning how to do that.
Okay.
And then my
Nice.
grandmother, because my mom never fried food, so I love fried chicken. So my grandmother was the one who showed me how to fry chicken. And so a lot of the other stuff, like seriously, I really got more into, like, I wanted to eat certain things like gumbo. So I remember one day, and my mother-in-law showed me a lot as well. But I remember one day, I just woke up and said, I'm gonna make some gumbo. And everybody was like, you gonna make gumbo? And I did. So really, cooking is just, for me, like I'm not a chef. Like Jeremiah can cook. Like we both kind of come up in a time where it's like, you know what you want.
Right.
And so you know what it's supposed to taste like.
Right.
You work your way back. So when you first start cooking, everything is too salty.
Right.
It's always too. You just don't realize. It's like, why's that salt? And then it's be so bad. It's like, oh my God. But the first time I cooked for my wife, this is so funny. I made some pork chops. I got these thick pork chops, and I cooked them on the George Foreman grill. I thought I was doing something. Let me tell you, these pork chops are this thick.
That's the thing about cooking, man.
I was doing something, man. Cooking.
You took it back with the George Foreman grill too. Wow.
Oh man. Like I really
throwback.
Yeah.
These millennials don't know nothing about that.
They don't know nothing about that
at all.
Grill, like, but now it's funny because like now really like this year I saw a post when it said at Thanksgiving they said I don't want nobody cooking my greens who ain't been through nothing. I'm like, well, it's 2020. If you can't cook greens
right
now,
right,
the Lord ain't never gonna work through you to ever be able to cook nothing.
Yeah.
Like
and see, and cooking is observational.
You know what? And here's what's funny about that.
Yeah.
2020 made me cook greens. 2020 brought me into making my own greens for Thanksgiving because I'm Tish. I can't have her greens, so I guess I'm gonna have to make my own greens this year. And they actually were kind of good.
See?
2020 will do that though.
It's the exact It had everybody recalibrating, I guess. So you had time to pre-plan, replan, and troubleshoot. So what you didn't know how to do, you found out how to do it because you couldn't go nowhere to do it or have it done for you. Yeah. And so, man, you had nothing but time. You could have threw away as much, as many times as you needed to. Because believe me, like I said, cooking is observational. And I had a couple older sisters. And so, I didn't like their food. So it was like, I know what not to do. I'm glad I watched y'all because I was going to make sure I do the exact opposite.
Let me jump in here. Okay.
I was not ready for that.
Both of his sisters are good friends of mine.
was not ready for that. I was
I'm
not
friends with both of his older sisters.
I'm just being honest.
I've never had
ready,
Raquel's
bro.
cooking. I've had John Tay cooking. John Tay can cook. Now, the only thing I would say about John Tay, she'll post a meal. She'll be like, smothered chicken, yams, rice, sweet potato pie. And I'm like, where's the vegetables?
But see, John Tay is a situational cooker.
Situational.
She's a situational cooker. So it's like
She can cook though.
if you need a 30-minute meal, great. She can handle that. But if you need a feast, like a 3-hour, 4-hour window to cook, she's too impatient. She's not a situational cooker where she can actually take her time and, you know, if something needs to be braised, if the meat needs to be, you know, tender, she just want to get it done and post a pic. It's like, don't post that. It's not even ready. I remember she cooked some food for me one. I'm like, man, this salmon is actually good, John Tay. She's like, thanks, but it's meatloaf. I'm like, you need to put this back in the oven.
no. That is just so wrong.
Not
Trying to give me salmonella.
I don't co-sign on these jokes. You can cook. You can cook.
Oh man, you are coming for her today.
I'm just being see, I live with my sisters all my life. So Jason, he probably had a situational meal.
A situational meal.
A dead clock is right twice a day.
That is true.
I even remember, and y'all probably remember too, when you first moved out your parents' house and you're on your own, I decided one of my first meals, I was gonna make some spaghetti. And I didn't realize you needed like 4 or 5 pots to make spaghetti. Here I am with one pot, boiling water for noodles. I'm like, wait, I gotta cut up vegetables, meat, pasta sauce. Like, man, the spaghetti, the whole meal was uneven. Like half the meal was hot, half was cold because I'm waiting on my one pot for everything. I'm like, yeah.
Now let me tell you, for the pandemic, I did cook spaghetti.
Woo!
Don't cook.
Now getting some ragu. Now getting
ragu
ragu and pouring it in a pot. That's not cooking spaghetti.
I don't know.
I want to know how he did it.
I don't
How
did
you make the? Tell me, because we're gonna judge you. How did you actually make the spaghetti? The sauce.
How did I make the sauce?
Yes.
Yeah,
did you make your own sauce? Because if you didn't make your own sauce, technically you warmed up spaghetti. You warmed up the sauce and you made the noodles. And you
don't worry about it. I'll have to give you all those things.
He said, don't worry about it. It was nourishing. Don't worry about it.
You don't need to worry.
You put yourself out there, Dr. Shepard. You really did.
I'm just saying. I mean, y'all talking about I'll do nothing. Look.
Oh, I didn't say you didn't do nothing, but they'll say, "Oh, I made some." Okay.
We'll give you props for warming up.
Okay, I'll give them props.
I'll
give them the recipe.
Make efforts, not excuses. I like it.
That's the first step. That's hey. You got to start from somewhere, right?
Absolutely.
Start somewhere.
I had to make sure that the noodles I got were already broken. So I got.
Now, if you can't break noodles,
Jeremiah, he doing his noodles like his communion bread.
Hey,
not
before you boil?
Not like the pre-clean Glory Greens. I need some pre-cut noodles.
Okay, I'm gonna just let that one go.
Why are you gonna let it go?
I have a lot of questions, but we're just gonna move on.
They make pot-sized noodles.
I didn't know this. Whatever Trader Joe's you're near.
We're just gonna skip along. Okay, yeah. Good for you. That's a good first step in 2020, and I'm proud of you, Jonathan. So
Thank you. Thank you. So
Yeah.
so how's Christmas been there, Jason? There in LA.
It's been good. Of course, the kids got up super early, jumping in our bed before they brush their teeth, getting in our face, talking about some gifts. And I'm like, can you please handle the necessities first? But we did a FaceTime with family. They got to see their cousins on FaceTime. And then they opened their gifts. Everybody, it was great. I mean, we had some really good gifts. Got hooked up with an Apple Watch.
Nice.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to the family. Family.
All right.
Yeah, I still don't know all the functionality of it, but I'm glad I got one because next year is gonna be all about that running life. And I don't like running with my phone. Because I'm just like, if I drop this phone when I'm running, I'm gonna be mad. Kids got hooked up. Jonah got an iPad, and Brooke got some Nikes and some other stuff. So I mean, they ain't complaining. Like, and Brooke did all this cooking for Thanksgiving. Jeremiah came in town. She made the peach cobbler. She made some Brussels. She was in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Today, it's just been me and my wife in the kitchen. She ain't nowhere to be found. So we just like,
she did a great job too. She made a Aretha Franklin peach cobbler, and had the recipe like charted out, like music sheets. I'm like,
here she go.
You're 10. You're not supposed to be doing this. Merry Christmas, Brooke.
There's my niece.
I don't have.
Oh, is that her?
Yeah, but so we're finishing up dinner. The weather's been beautiful here today, of course. I don't know where I heard it was super cold in Chicago. Sorry.
We didn't ask about the weather.
If you asked, it's bright and
Sure
sunny.
did it.
About
He just kind of
70
sprinkled that. He just sprinkled
Right.
that a little bit in
Nobody.
there for us.
This is not a weather question.
Dr.
Yeah.
Erica, are
Thank
you
you
in
for letting us know
Maryland?
that.
Are you in Baltimore?
I'm in North Carolina, but it was cold today. Woo, it was
Really?
so cold.
Wow.
It was like in the 30s. It was in the 30s
Ooh.
for us. Yeah.
30s. People, if it was
Yeah.
30 in Chicago, people would be outside playing with their toys. Trust me.
Right.
That is very true. See, I'm
It's
from
like 8
Buffalo,
degrees.
and that is very true. That's very true.
You say you're from
Um,
Buffalo?
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Buffalo.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, 50
So you
degrees.
know.
We're like,
And see, y'all get that snow.
summer. It's
Y'all
summer,
get that snow in Buffalo. It's
50,
ridiculous.
but it's all relative. Yeah, but then I've been in the South for a long time.
It was
so I'm a
snowing
little
from the
spoiled
ground up
now.
today. It was so
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, what kind of snow is this? A grass
From the ground
blizzard.
up.
I'm telling, if y'all were here, y'all could witness this.
What in the world?
I'm telling you.
I sent Jeremiah that picture that you sent me yesterday.
All right. We
I'm not telling you the name,
no,
but he the one that came up with the name Marvin Blinded.
No, okay. All right. We not digressing.
Grass.
Erica,
I have to let you know he came up with that name.
Erica,
Now I need to see
no, Erica, no. No, Erica, no.
I can't take a picture.
No, some things we not gonna do. We are live, so we don't. I wouldn't even look for you to bring that up. Don't do that.
It's funny though.
Oh,
He can show
Okay.
you.
There is a new Disney film out today, streaming. And so I keep forgetting the name of it. I ask the kids every 5 minutes because they're so ready to watch it. But
Wonder Woman.
you said Wonder Woman?
Did she come out today?
No, this is a different film. It's animated.
Jamie
Jamie Foxx, Felicia Rashad.
Oh yeah.
Name of that.
Well, I think
Somebody
Wonder Woman-
watching.
What is it called?
Soul.
Say it again.
I think it's called Soul.
Yeah, Soul. That's it. Soul.
Oh,
It's,
oh, okay.
and it's supposed to be really good about a musician and some other things. So that's probably the nightcap for us.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
Like Jason, everybody woke up early, and so everybody over 30, 40, you got to take naps. You got to do this thing in sections. Like, so
The interesting part about
I like that.
where we live now, our schools have officially said they're not going back
Wow.
this whole school year.
with this great weather,
So the kids been home, but they on break, but they stay home anyway. So trying to figure out what is a break and what's not a break.
so this is a break.
And my son gets 3 weeks.
Huh?
You get 3 weeks.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's
So y'all are going to be busy. Y'all are going to be busy, parents.
Yeah.
I've given up on this whole e-learning. I'm like, anytime I got teachers telling me that I'm too loud in my house, it's like, all right, I'm gonna have to mute you on the computer. You in my house. Like, these teachers don't know how it is in a Black family's house. Like, you're not gonna come in here telling us what to do, okay?
Parents be coming on these screens wrong though.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Oh yeah, I know it. Well, a lot of people didn't know how to work Zoom and social media
And a
in
lot
these
still
beginning
don't.
months. Like,
You got mamas hanging over the computer.
oh,
Ma'am, close your robe.
like March, April, May. It went viral. You didn't see that?
We can see you.
We can see you. March, April, May should have been a total like tutorial for church and school. Like, it should learn in church and e-learn in school. Like, whole tutorials. How to work the camera, how to unmute your. It's no reason pastors should be speaking whole messages on mute. I'm like, where's the sound engineer?
Hilarious.
Sound engineer at home.
Sleep.
Sleep.
It's like my kids are on the computer 6-7 hours, and I get an email from their teacher, their work not completed. I'm like, how? they haven't moved.
Haven't moved.
But I'm hearing this is like every parent. I'm like,
and my question is, how are you giving homework? How are you giving homework? And
they're already at home.
At home.
Oh yeah, it's absolutely.
You're giving homework.
Yeah.
And the kid's been on computer 8 hours. Mm-hmm. There's no books.
Homework while they're being homeschooled.
Mm-hmm.
This actually has definitely encouraged me actually to homeschool my kids, because
I've heard that actually.
Yeah, I'm more encouraged to do it. I never even really thought about it too much because I didn't think it was just the normal thing to do, or the usual thing to do, or the popular thing, I should say, to do. But them being at home, it's kind of changed my perspective on how they're being taught. And I'm like, man, I think they can get so much more done if I homeschool them, because this ain't it.
Well, I think the entire scope of education as we know it is changed forever.
Yeah.
And I think we really won't know until maybe like 50 years from now what it's going to be. So when you think about what public education, like the foundations of it, what it was created to do, of course, it came out where it created people who are doctors and lawyers and productive members of society, but ultimately it was created to keep people as working class citizens. And so now you're disrupting that whole thing, and people are looking at the whole model of school, and there are a lot of people who aren't going to judge themselves or their children by the standards of grades any longer. So I think that's the thing that's going to be accounted for. You're going to have people who forget homeschooling. They're not even going to be in what is considered an organized learning environment, which I don't know if our country's really prepared to deal with that kind of thought process. Like we're going to have people who really are going to come off the grid and be a part of society at a larger rate, even though there are already people who are kind of like that. But I think this is pushing people to really live off the grid and come out the matrix in that way. So how do we interact with people now who are saying, I'm not going to do this in this way? Like, how do we, I don't know how we properly, deal with that, because there's a large sector of people who feel that way.
Yeah,
it's gonna be different. One of the things here in Maryland, before we start wrapping up, is that now with the standards, the standards, I should say, have not changed. So people now are, in these different environments. And you said something that's very key, is that the children are not learning. Many of the children are not learning right now. Most of the children I'm taking care of, there may be a few who are excelling. Even the ones who used to do well, they're not even doing well anymore because they just don't understand. And I'm sure you see that, Erica, there.
I'm seeing a ton. They're completely disengaged.
Yeah.
And then socially, not only with the learning, but they're also, not getting their social needs met. And, this is such a critical time in development to connect with folks and to build social skills, right? Which is hard to do virtually. So yeah, I'm seeing higher rates of anxiety and depression, and kids actually who are making straight A's failing and not realizing until like a week ago, because teachers haven't been putting in the grades and stuff because they're overwhelmed. So I've had so many patients who, like 2 weeks ago, are like, I'm failing all my classes, because they're just not turning in work. They don't have time to do the homework, right? Because they're in school all day. And then they're expected to do all these hours again on a computer in the evening. It's a lot. It's really a lot. It's burdensome, I think, in so many ways on these kids. So I think that's going to be the other pandemic, not just here in the United States, I'm sure, but, elsewhere, of kids really struggling with mental health issues because of the challenges that they're facing in their learning environments. And then that's not even adding on, a kid with ADHD or kids with autism, who need those additional specialized services that they're not getting in the home.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's complicated. It's very complicated.
Yeah, the thing I was going to emphasize is that even with all that, the standards for like the achievement test or however you measure their achievement in the springtime, that has not changed. So you have a group of folks who have not learned, but yet the achievement standards have not changed. I've heard that. I asked that question from the teachers. And they told me no, they're not adjusting their standards for this coming school year, and I'm very much bothered by that because. Most of them have not learned anything.
We call it in the public school washing clothes with no detergent. You're just taking them out and drying them. I mean, that's what it is when you really think about it. And I feel for the teachers that have kids at home who have to do the double work. So they have to make sure their kids e-learning and they're trying to teach. I mean, I know that's going to be definitely some issues there, and it's a psychological breakdown. It's fatigue, all of that wrapped in one, man. And it's woof. I don't know how they can have the intent to even come back to teach this year.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you gave a wonderful analogy. I'm gonna
washing clothes with no detergent. That's a new one, but
I'm glad we know better.
Putting on deodorant with no soap.
You,
Oh.
You see people do that.
that
Yeah.
could be situational. No,
Okay, now Jeremiah, you telling on yourself now.
not for me though. Not for me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
He said that could be situational. Hilarious. All right, y'all. Look, I gotta wrap this up. Thank you all. This is
Yep.
Home for the Holidays edition. Ask the Doctors. We just wanted to talk a little bit, just check in with the different folks around the country. We got North Carolina here, we got Chicago, we got LA, we got Maryland here. And I'm sure you all are sitting around your places of wherever you live, residential places, and enjoying your families, enjoying Christmas. So again, we wish you a Merry Christmas. We hope that you have a wonderful New Year. We will be back. Ask the Doctors will be back next Friday. We will air and broadcast on New Year's Day. I look forward to that show as we kick off another year. Isn't that amazing that we've made it through another year?
Made it.
We have
Praise
made
God.
it. Yes, we have made it. We've made it. All right. Y'all take care. Thank you, my brother.
All right.
This is my blood brother right here, Jay Shep. My other brother here, Jeremiah.
Yeah.
And my sister, Dr. Erica Draza. All right. We'll see you all. Thank you all.
Merry Christmas.
Everybody.
Merry Christmas.